Do you remember when we used to run way through the night? There is a story about us two, and it's written about me and you. Nothing can bring us down, 'cause we are together now. Not even time to stop us now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 Mini Comedy Marathon. Please welcome to your screens your host for today, Jade Fearnley.
Yeah.
Oh my word, this is going to be a fucking brilliant afternoon. I am so pleased to be hosting the 2020 Mini Marathon in place of what was going to be the big marathon. Now we've got this and we're doing it for an amazing cause. So please join us. Come and chat with me. Let's get kicked off properly. And it's going to be awesome because a lot of these guys, this is like their first gig since it happened. So for most of these, there's going to be an awful lot of wanting to get out all of that witty angst and giving you a show that you're going to really enjoy. So lockdown as they might be, let you down they will not be. Let us all have a lovely afternoon. So as well, of course, this is all in aid of a charity and we want you guys to be donating as and when you can. So please, if you can donate to Rape Crisis England and Wales, please do so. And I can confirm that already, even before the event began, we've managed to reach total so far of £63.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody, and thank you if you've donated. We are so super excited for this. And it's a cause that everybody has a stake in. Everyone knows somebody in their lives that's either suffered with harassment or assault. So it's a very, very personal subject to us all. And that'll be, I imagine, why a lot of our comedians are here today. But as well as that, it's a very, very good reason to do it in the current climate. At the moment, the industry has had a bit of a call to action on sexual assault within the industry. And as a result of that, the community has come forward so bravely to try and help the community be better in the future in these instances. And what's been really nice to see is that not only have people been brave enough to speak up, but the community has been good enough to listen. And the listening it's left me awestruck. And then from the listening comes the action. And that's when people like, not to blow too much smoke up his ass, but that's where people like Lucas Kirkby come in, who've done this because they feel so passionately about improving the community that we all love so much. So thank you very much, Lucas. I think this is a wonderful thing to be doing. And I think you're just the right sort of person to do it. And you've been, for me, a big reason for me as to why I came through a personal experience with sexual assault. I remember when it happened to me 2 years ago, back in Edinburgh. And I came home, and within the first week of coming home, you feel all the feelings you're going to feel when you've been through something like that. And it's feelings that don't always make sense, but you feel them anyway. Things like shame, things like anger, and they're at a very toxic level inside you. And at the time you think, what am I going to find funny again? This is too much of a low. And I remember Lucas, me and Lucas met up about a week after I got back when I was feeling all of these things. And Lucas went out of his way that day to make me laugh. I mean, he stepped up his funny to 12. It was amazing. And I laughed for the first time in what felt like a long time. And it was because of Lucas that I realized I was going to be okay. So I wanted to say that to Lucas and make him feel that little bit extra special, because he's an absolutely amazing fella. And I think we should all give a great big round of applause for him for hosting this for us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that, Jade.
But you cry?
A little tear.
Oh.
Well, from me, Thank you, Jade.
No, you're absolutely one of my best mates in this industry, and you were a godsend then. And I wanted to say that to you just then. And of course, we wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for you. But as I say, moreover, loads of people have had these instances in their lives where they know somebody or they are survivors themselves. It has no prejudice, this issue, which is like a big part of it. It happens to a lot of people. And many of the comedians here performing today, they might have their own experiences with it as well. And we actively encourage you to use your voice. We are supporting you. And as I've said, this is the time when the community is listening the most. So we're listening. But as well as that, more importantly, we're taking action together, which is fantastic. So thank you all the comedians as well for coming. Just a great big round of applause out of the gate for those guys, because we've already got so many here watching.
Woo!
Yay!
Woo!
And what time are we on? I think it's just about time to start, and we couldn't be starting with a better act. This lady has taken the cabaret comedy circuit by storm with what I think is one of the most original characters that's going right now. Please, everybody, put your hands together for what couldn't be a more golden introduction. It's Nana Funk!
Hey!
Hiya, everyone! Isn't this weird? So weird. I want to squish all your faces and I can't. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an amazing gig and such an important cause. Really privileged to be part of it. During lockdown, I decided that I would start writing songs rather than just improvising songs. So I have been writing songs from audience suggestions. I didn't quite expect lockdown to last this long, so I have a lot of them. But this one, lockdown themed, and it was suggested by Alabama Whirly, who's an amazing burlesque and pole dancer. And it's about injuries that happen in lockdown. Enjoy. When you're in lockdown and you're finding things to do, some things you've done before and some things are something new. But sometimes by doing things you hurt yourself a bit. It might be a silly thing that makes you feel like a tit, like breaking your ankle whilst practicing pole, slicing your finger whilst deboning soul, smashing a window when just trying to clean, ripping your hand whilst just trying to plant beans. It's the lockdown injuries. It's the lockdown injuries. When you're in lockdown and trying to stay sane, you may turn to DIY to stimulate your brain. You might have equipment you've never used. It stayed wrapped up in a drawer. But now you've got all this extra time, you can see what it is for. But don't wear flip-flops when cutting the grass. Don't let your fingers when polishing brass. When lighting the Barbie, watch out for the flame. 'Cause when you are damaged, there's no one to blame. Please lock the ladder when climbing the walls. And angle grinders, don't use them at all. If you need instructions to see what it's for, then step away from the circular saw. It's the lockdown injuries. It's the lockdown injuries. It's the lockdown injuries. Watch out for those lockdown injuries. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, Nana, that was wonderful, and I'm sure very relatable for all of us. But let's move on now to another wonderful act. Please give a round of applause for Wanda Keenan.
Okay, so Wanda isn't quite here at the minute, so so the next act is going to be Alex Stringer.
Hooray!
Hi everyone, my name's Alex Stringer. Thank you very much for today, and thank you. I also echo what Jade said. Thanks, Lucas, for running this. Yeah, I'm a survivor, and yeah, thank you so much for your responsibility and doing all this. So yeah, Cool. So I just keep thinking about, I'm really sorry if any of the comedians have heard these jokes, by the way, but I want to give people the best stuff and then they'll donate, so it's cool. So yeah, last summer, I just keep thinking about holidays, and I went on a plane and there was a big group of lads and there was a ringleader, because there always is, and he was like, right, lads, we get off the plane, we get the bags, we get on the coach, we get to the hotel, we change our shoes and off out. Way. I hated him. And I just had a couple of questions because of this interaction. Number one, why the need to change your shoes? Like, unless you're doing a Michael Flatley River dance number, it's just not very necessary. And number two, and this isn't a joke, this is just advice for anyone. If you have been on a plane for 5 hours, just wash your dick. There is no way after 5 hours you can be like, oh, the shoes are a bit squiffy, but my dick is minty fresh. Like, no. That's a thing. And say he was fortunate enough to go home with someone. I just can't imagine him saying to his mate the next day, sorry, the person he's gone home with, talking to their mate the next day, going, that lad last night absolutely hummed. Like he hadn't washed in days, but his brogues were fucking gorgeous. Like, not a thing. But yeah, I was really lucky enough to go to Australia just before lockdown. Woo! And when I was there, me and my friends went to the zoo and we were playing Would You Rather, because we're stupid. And Would You Rather is where you say, like, would you rather have fingers for toes, toes for fingers, that kind of vibe, right? And my friend said, would you rather finger a chimpanzee's bum hole or have a chimpanzee finger your bum hole? And I was like, oh, it's a tough question, because if I did it, I could never eat pizza again or cake or even get married. Like, that's not the ring we're talking about, but like I'm a big fan of those things, and so I was like, oh, a bit stuck. And then all of a sudden I just heard this really high-pitched voice go, Mom, this lady's gonna finger a chimpanzee's bum hole. And I was like, oh no, because I forgot the kids go to zoos. And his mom was just like storming towards me. Really sorry if there's any Aussies watching, love ya. His mom was just like storming towards me, and she was like, excuse me, what is wrong with you? Like, what is your problem? And I was like, oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Your son got the wrong end of the stick. I said that I would let the chimpanzee finger my bum hole. But yeah, I got catcalled the other day. I know, can you believe it? In lockdown, awful. They're still alive and well. And if you don't know what catcall is when you're walking past, you know, a building site or a young group of lads, and they go, woo woo, I can't whistle, but cooler. So like, you've got a nice vagina. That's what they always sound like in Liverpool, don't they, Nana Funk? But this was the best catcall I've ever had. And catcalls in me, like, the feminist in me hates them, like thinks like dogs are the F, but the fat girl in me is just like a bit made up, just like do it again. No. But yeah, this was the best catcall I've ever had, and it was because the guy went like he heard the phrase and took it quite literally. Like he was a fucking pussy whisperer. I don't know. That's all my time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alex. That was wonderful. And next, let's take a look. We've got the wonderful Beg Liz.
Woo!
Your Switzerland, Warrington here. Oh, this isn't Eurovision. Oh, I thought it was Eurovision voting. Oh, right, okay, I better do some stuff then. Hi, My name's Bear Glitz, and I've been using this time during lockdown to lose weight. No, only kidding. Of course, that's not. No, I've been using this time to learn what I like to call shit magic. Like regular magic, or shit. You know what? At the end of a magic trick, where you'll look at something and you'll go, "Ooh, that was dead good." None of that. So, start you off easy. Bit of rope, bit of rope as it's known in our end. So, I'm now going to make this stiff, but I do it through the power of audience participation. So, I'm going to need you all to shout for me. So, give us a warm up. I want you to all shout on 1, 2, 3, stiff. 1, 2, 3,
Stiff.
There we go. Bit of a delay, but we were almost there. Okay. So we'll do it all together now. 1, 2, 3, stick.
I said
Right.
stick.
Is it stick
That's
or stick?
Stick, not stick, whoever's
Stiff.
shouting. Stick. Right, okay. So let's get a stick to shout. Stiff. 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 Stiff.
Stiff. Stiff.
Stiff.
Stiff. Stiff. Stiff. Oh.
Stiff.
Oh.
Wow.
And unstick. There we go.
Wowzers.
Right, okay. The other thing that I've been doing is trying to perfect what I like to call my oral skills. Now, I did this a little bit last year at the Edinburgh Fringe because I was like, what are my natural talents? Well, deep throating, of course. So, I started practicing on balloons. So, what I'm going to do is inflate this balloon and see if we can swallow the whole thing. If you're interested in the calorie intake on balloons, pretty low actually. Normally I don't have this much trouble with rubber. Right, here we go. Okay, so this again is audience participation. So the more you clap, the deeper it goes. A round of applause. Woo! Woo!
Oh. 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 Oh.
That's it, lads.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
So,
Wow.
there's my answer. So, if anybody was wondering how I managed to do my last Edinburgh Fringe run, really adept at swallowing things which were made of plastic. So, I became a drug mule and came out of it in a profit, which is probably the first time ever. That's it from me. I think I'm about time. So, back to studio.
Hey!
Well then, I'm sure if any of us would have been pre-warned that we ran up doing a Zoom with Barry where he shouted stiff and performed oral, we might not have joined that meeting. But it was actually very entertaining. Thank you very much, Barry. And of course, let's get right on. Scarlett Dobson next.
Hey!
Hey guys, sorry, I had to charge my laptop. I'm having an absolute mare with today. And also, when we're having we're going to do a little charity fundraiser. I was like, are you sure you want me as your act? Come on. You are...
I feel like she's speaking to me through a xylophone.
Right, I think we're having a few technical difficulties.
I actually thought
Scarlett, you sound like naughty
I was live in lockdown because racism was dead. I've got to be fucking...
It sounds like your voice is an ood.
Okay, so I think
This is funny. This is a really, really good set because I've really enjoyed it. Patiently or not.
Okay. I think if we'll go to the next act.
Why don't we see if we can get Scarlett on a little bit later when she's like ultimate with tech issues? Right, no problem. Thank you very much, Scarlett Dobson, for being entirely by accident. And now it's time for Amy Cooper.
Hello, how you doing, guys? All right, my name is Jemima today, and we're going to be doing a bum squad class. Who is ready for it?
Yeah.
Who's ready for it? Right, okay, get your trainers laced up nice and tight, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to step it out first, okay? Lovely, take a quick swig if you need to. Cool. All right, let's do this. Now, if you've ever been to a bum squad class before in real life, what do we do, guys? All my regular bummers, we just shout bum squad every now and then. Yeah? Cool. Use the dumbbell at any point. What do we say? Dumbbell. Idiot alarm. Dumbbell. Idiot alarm. Yeah, that's it. This is really serious, but what we like to do is inject a little bit of humour, and that's where I come in. You caught Jester, Jemima. Okay, cool. All right, now people say to me, what is bum squad, Jemima? And I say, good question. Great question. Glad you asked. So it's a hybrid of Zumba and anal. Yeah, so let's take our minds out of the gutter. Let's take our body to the temple. Cool. Okay, so what do we want to do? The first rule of fitness, always have a witness, okay? No point doing a DVD in your lounge on your own. No one's going to see it, all right? We want to make everyone else feel shit that they're not working out, okay? Cool. Lovely. All right. Smell the burn. Yeah? Can you smell it? Cool. All right, lovely. No sweat, no pret. You got it, guys. Okay, now Jemima, my name is Jemima. I'm teaching today, but Natalie would normally come and teach this class. She actually sprained her clitoris last weekend. All right, you stop with me, but I'm a safe pair of hands. I'm going to look after you. Okay, guys, now what I need you all to do is just turn to the back of your rooms there and give me 50 lunges, nice and deep squats, yeah? Keep going. Break through that wall, guys, yeah? Cool. Now just keep watching me. Turn around, everybody. Lovely, okay. I like to create a nice encouraging atmosphere at my classes, okay? It's not a competition. It is just a chance for me to see who is the weakest and laziest amongst you, okay? Cool. Okay, lovely. All right. No sweat, no prep. Not sure if I said that before. It's a little bit of a loop. That's what happens. Cool. All right, let me tell you about my academy. I'm doing some academy where you can become a bum squad facilitator. We're going to teach. That means I'm going to tell you everything I know because I know more than you guys, yeah? Interval, short bursts, always short bursts. And training, it never stops, 24/7, we're committed. And strategy, we've got a plan, always got a plan. So if you would like to join the facilitator program, get in touch. You can get some of this bum squad coin. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's do it. All right, next rule of fitness, it's what you look like on the outside that counts, okay? Any anxiety you've got, any depression, any struggles, stuff that down, okay? We're going to impress, yeah? That's what we're doing here, all right? The whole point of bum squad, yeah? Now, when I say bum, you say squad. Bum.
Squad.
Bum.
Squad.
Yeah, all right, we're doing it. Audience precipitation check. Cool. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, we're going up into the next gear now. All right. Keep it together, Jemima. They've come to learn about bum squad, all right? It's the only light at the end of their tunnel during this lockdown, okay? So just keep it together. All right, guys. That's it. We're doing it. Smell the burn. Can we smell it? Yeah. Engage the pixels. Yeah. Cool. All right, we're doing everything from the cortex. That's it. Lovely. Nice positioning. Cool. Okay, we're going to wind down now and just stretch off. I am so proud of all of you, all right? even you guys that think I can't see you because you've got your camera switched off, I've got bomb squad technology. You can get around that. I've got FBI type strategy to get into your homes, and whatever tickles your pickle, if that's what it is, don't let me judge. All right? Now let's stretch off. You never want to do a workout, but you never regret it. Do you? Okay, let's keep going. Bomb squad, yeah. Cool. All right. Float like a turd, sting like cystitis, yeah. Cool. All right, we're doing it. Guys, you have been amazing. And I think, let's just see. I think that might be, let's just stretch it out, yeah. Cool. That was me. I know because my background changed. I love you guys. My name's Jemima. This has been Bomb Squad.
Hey!
Absolutely shattered. Let's get Bert back up with the second go round on Scarlett Dobson. Scarlett, are you ready for us?
Oh, come on, fingers crossed that my internet stays.
Oh my God, this is so much better.
It is, man. If I hope Talk aren't sponsoring us because they're shit. Go fuck yourself, Talk.
It's actually really impressive because it felt like I was talking to like Naughty's Cher. You know, we've got the auto tune in the voice. Fabulous.
Mate, I'm here rapping T-Pain. What can I say? I'm strong, 'cause I'm in down. Oh, here I am. This is what improv looks like when you fuck up and you have to make up for the absolute technical fuck up that was.
The mistakes are better than successes. But best of luck now. Let's hope we get nothing but success. Over to you, pal.
All right, awesome. Hi, guys. I've got to say that I'm enjoying comedy during lockdown because I don't actually have to endanger people because I've developed some symptoms. I've got a massive headache and I'm very irritable and I tested positive for living with my mum. We're back here. And as I was saying, hopefully you guys got the beginning joke, but I'll have to repeat it again, that when Lucas was like, hey, you know, we've got this charity gig going, I had to give him a bit of a warning because audience members have said to me that I'm a bit of a dark act, which I find offensive because I prefer if you called me mixed race. And before you're asking, like, how are you, like, mixed, it's because my grandma liked brown dick. I get into trouble so much for that joke. They're like, oh my God, no, you can't say that. And I'm like, what's wrong with brown dick? Like, can we not discriminate against dicks? And also, if you've got a problem and you do that, I've got a helpful solution for you. Wear a blindfold, then you can't discriminate against anything. But it was a bit mad, this whole Black Lives Matter, because it was like you all forgot about racism, and then suddenly it turned up and white people were like, I've got the solution, I've got it. See this fucking statue? Fuck it, hey, racism's dead. Mate, that's not. And as a person of color, and I'm aware, I'm a non-black person of color, and I had to be like, great, now we're having this conversation, can we get equal living standards, can we get equal education? And they were like, no, listen, we just drowned a statue for you, yeah, you're good. And I was like, I mean, that's not how it goes. No, excuse me, what do you know about equality? You've never fucking had it, so don't start. Be thankful. It was crazy, but and lockdowns opened up a lot of conversations. I've had to take a time to reflect upon myself, and I realised, because this is my second year single, and I was thinking, my God, after lockdown, I'm gonna have to get some cock down. That's what's gonna happen. It's weird because I find it really hard to date as a female comedian because I developed this horrible personality growing up, and it's just a massive defect, and I get trouble with it. So now when I go on dates, and I have to do this, and I'm not proud, I had to go on this date with a guy. I really didn't want to go. I was not doing this diet. It's called Universal Credit. So I had to be there for him. And he said the weirdest thing to me. He was like, oh, you know, you look much better when you don't wear your glasses. So what do you mean by that? And he was like, oh, you're just 2 points less when you wear them. And I had to laugh because I needed him to pay. You know, he didn't laugh when I said, you look much better when I take mine off as well. I I'm really thankful that you guys have reached out and said, "Oh, would you want to, do a gig for this cause?" Because it means a lot to me. As a female comedian, we've had a lot of industry outcomings and outpouring of like the truth that needed to be said, and I've got my own story. I was seeing a comedian, I was seeing a guy, and I didn't really respond to his text messages because I didn't want anything more to do with him. And he started saying terrible things. He started negging me. He said, "I don't have a nice bum." I was like, okay, that's BS. And I don't want to come up on here and be all braggy and things like that. So I brought you evidence. This is my debit card, of which I'm hiding the code because, again, universal credit. I don't want you wrecking my Amazon account. But I sat on it and now it's bent. You see, Kim Kardashian's ass might have broken the internet, but I broke my contact list.
Yes.
Yes, here I am. And I'm gonna say thank you so much for my time. Thank you so much. Donate to the cause. I'm sorry about shit internet. Fuck you, talk. I'm out. Cheers.
Hey!
Well done, Stella. Thank you so much. You're right. You've got a fantastic ass because it bent. But let's get our next act. That's Kieran Mullins.
Hey!
Hello, hi. You all right? Cool, good to see you. Yeah, this is my first like online gig, and I was a little bit worried because I'd watched a couple of online gigs and I muted the audience. You couldn't hear the laughs. But then I remember that even when I did live comedy, I couldn't hear any audience laugh. I was reading this like weird story about this lad in America who apparently put a sex toy so far up his own arse that he went into a coma, right? And I thought, how awkward's that for the doctor? He has to go to that lad's family and say, by the way, we are considering pulling the plug. You know what I mean? Can't quite get the purchase on it, you know? But yeah, it's an awkward way to go, and my gran passed away in like a really weird way. She died on a treadmill, and she was 97. So she had a good run.
Hey!
Well, she tripped on a nipple, bless her, and just all. And that's why I didn't like gyms. Like for me, gyms are exactly like sex, because I can only last 3 minutes. I leave, and then I feel bad about to pay for it. Just uncomfortable. I'll tell you when I really knew that we were like fucked with this virus. Was at that coronavirus concert. I tell you, they didn't invite the cure or the vaccines. You know what I mean? I mean, I heard maybe they were coming next year, but the gig will be finished by then. I remember the last gig I saw, like before lockdown, I went to go and see a tribute act of Placebo. Yeah, they were like the real thing, honestly. Like, I don't know if it's because it was name or whether they were that good. I remember going to see the Rolling Stones, and at the back someone had a band T-shirt, and it went New York, Paris, Coventry. You know what I mean? Coventry. Imagine having to go from like the city of love to the city of loving your cousin. You know what I mean? Looking awkward, man. I tried something like I never tried before. Like my girlfriend was upstairs, and I thought, I'd never done sexting before, and I messaged her, and I was like, "Oh, the ladies love that." You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, I really put my back into it when I sent her." I said, "Oh, I want to have sex with you so badly," and then she texted me back, "You always have sex with me badly." Don't need to hear that, do you? I think the kinkiest thing that like I've ever done is I had sex with my girlfriend on a balcony, and I said to my mates, it was amazing, you should give it a go. And so they all had sex with my girlfriend on a balcony. My mates, didn't even get invited. I'm human. But I'll share this. Like, I remember like the first time I was ever like touched sexually. I was really young. Like I was about 28. And this girl put a hand down my pants, and she grabbed on, and she went, "Amy, you fucking God, that's massive." And I was shocked. I said, "You're pulling my leg." And unfortunately, I just wrote a bucket list. Here it is. Number 1, don't write a bucket list. Fuck. I'll tell you one thing I want to do before I die: be revived. That's number 1 on the list. Yeah. I saw like an advert, and it said, "Did you know every 5 minutes a man is told that he has prostate cancer?" And I thought, poor man having to be told that every 5 minutes. You know, tell him once, it'll sink in, I'm sure. I went to KFC, you know, when lockdown was sort of, you know, eased a little bit, and I went to KFC, and I saw someone boxing the chicken. I thought, that's not a fair fight, is it? You know. Yeah, chickens are a very, very weak animal. You know, they're not exactly Conor McGregor, are they? You know, more Conor McNuggets. Am I right? That's the funniest thing I've ever written. That I'm gonna peek at that. But I'll finish on this, like, because there was one point when I was buying a lot of cocaine, and every time I bought it, you know, like, it would always turn out to be washing powder. And people ask me now how I managed to get clean. It was all the Daz, you know, in retrospect. But yeah, well, thanks for listening to me, and yeah, have a good rest of the day. Take care.
Hey!
Now then, next up, we have, we've not changed the order. No, we've not. We've got Thomasin Lockwood. Please give it up for Thomasin Lockwood.
Hey!
Oh, hang on.
Here she comes.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting today. So, it's been quite a difficult time right now for comedians, seeing our livelihoods and creative outlets going up in flames. And I thought to myself, how am I going to make sure that I'm totally carefree and relaxed for this gig? So that's why I broke into this guy's house. So, what am I missing? Lockdown. I'll tell you what I'm missing. I'm missing traveling. Anyone here like traveling?
Yeah.
I miss it so much. The other day I said to my boyfriend, if you could take me anywhere tomorrow, if you could take me anywhere in the world, where would you take me? And he went, up the arch. I don't know why he'd want to take me there. Hardly ever gets any sun. I said, quite frankly, we're not going there. It's a bit of a shithole. So I tell you what I haven't missed during lockdown. My work colleagues. Yes. Anyone work with anyone they don't like?
Yeah.
So I used to, before, in the before time, I worked at this bakery where I was a supervisor. And there was this girl there called Becky, where every time I'd ask her to do something, she'd be like, yeah, all right, babes, in a minute. I'll take care of it after lunch. Okay. It's all Gucci. Things were not all Gucci. Not very Gucci at all. No, and I decided one day I'm going to confront her about her behavior. I said, look, Becky, I love working with you. I really do. But sometimes the way you speak to me, a little bit of juice. And she explained her side of the story. Her explanation was, I'm a Scorpio. Not an explanation, is it? No. What would have been an explanation if she'd gone, I'm a twat.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She just continued to blame her shitty behavior on her star sign. And maybe I'm just a bit bitter about that, because I feel like I can't do that. Because if someone said to me, Thomasin, the way you speak to me, it's a little bit of cute. To me, it would go like this. That's because I'm a Cancer. You didn't choose me, but here I am. It's not as cute. So my name is Thomasin. and I hate my name. It's kind of an unusual, unique name. And here's just a bit of advice, guys. Don't give your kids a unique or unusual name because you will limit them for life. You will. You know who's never going to be Prime Minister? Your kid, Daenerys. You know who's never going to be taken seriously as a human rights lawyer? Your son, Evian. An unemployed actress still confused about her sexuality well into her 20s. That's right, some difficult Thomason. Yeah, I don't blame my parents though. I actually really love my parents. I love my dad. He's very supportive of my comedy. In fact, every time I tell him a joke, he always responds with yes. Very good. It's like the exact same intonation when I'm like, you are the same mug. It's like, yes. Very good. Very supportive as well, in a bit of a different way though. So when I first told her I thought I might be part of the LGBTQ, she was really supportive, happy even. I don't think she knows what it is. I think she's some kind of shock, right? Like, I say this because she was introducing me to a friend of hers recently, Gay Dr. Richard, and she was like, "Oh, Richard, this is my daughter, Timothy, and she's also part of the B&Q." Really? But anyway, guys, I'm going to come to an end, but here I'm a bit pixelated. So anyway,
what the hell are you doing on my laptop?
it's nothing. Okay, I have to.
Hey.
That was just perfect. That was absolutely brilliant. And of course, we are coming to the end of this part of the show, but stay tuned because after that, we're back again after a short 10-minute break. Before that, let's have Bella Humphries. Give it up for Bella.
Hey.
Bella Humphries.
Oh, hello. Oh my God, my face is so close to the screen. I hadn't seen myself. I'm really not made for Zoom stuff because I'm so vain. I can't stop looking at myself. But there we go. Anyway, so hi, my name is Bella Humphries, or as I was lovingly referred to at secondary school, Bella Hump for free. Just nothing to do with my behaviour, just a very clever pun on my second name, which is, good because I think it would be more worrying if, age 11 I was getting paid for sex. But there we go. So yeah, it's really nice to be here, and I'm so glad that it's an afternoon gig because I've got to get up very early for school tomorrow. And that is because I work in a school, not because I'm still at school. Although I have sort of seen my how I choose to dress myself, so I'd be understandably confused. It happens to me quite a lot that people think I'm a lot younger than I actually am. Like the other day, I got catcalled in Sainsbury's by 2 school children. And like, I do like a man in uniform, but quite what I had in mind. I usually take the register. I don't want to be on a register. So while we've been in the lockdown, I've lived in London for 7 years. I'm from Swindon, but I've been actually staying in Aberystwyth in North Wales with my boyfriend. So that's where he's from. And I don't know about you guys, with all your sort of your crafts and your sourdough bread and your sort of banana bread that you've been making. I personally have been in a one-woman PGL adventure holiday because my friend is Snowdonia's answer to Bear Grylls. I've been kayaking, I've been canoeing, I've climbed a mountain, I've been wild water swimming, because his motto is do something every day that scares you. I'll be honest with you, I am scared of the dark, so by definition I am doing something every day that scares me, but yeah, he treats this relationship as some sort of adventure holiday. I love it. He's the best. He's amazing. But yeah, it's been quite a culture shock for me because Yeah, I am not from the country. Week 2 of the lockdown, I thought a black sheep was a bear. For real. And I'm incredibly embarrassed about that, but I'd never seen one in real life before. And now I just now I just keep my mouth shut. If I'm not really sure about something, I just keep it stum. It was kind of like finding it quite difficult, especially at the beginning of the lockdown, with all of like, not having a creative outlet and not being able to like, do the sort of things that I like doing. And my mum was like, oh, that would be so, do you know what would be so good for you? Is if you like took up a new skill, maybe knitting, for example. And she'd be, oh, it'd be so nice. You could like, knit blankets for the elderly, or, that would be such a nice thing, like a really nice thing to get you doing something, something to give back to people. So she sent me 20 balls of wool, and I'd just like to show you really quickly what I've come up with in the past. What is it now? Like almost 4 months? So what I'm thinking is we're probably going to need a second wave. Get anywhere near my target. Yeah, that's all from me, guys. You've been an absolute dream. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. Great little face mask there. That was good, wasn't it? Right, well, we have come to the end of the first part of the mini marathon with, and I should like to update us before we move on, because we could get some more donations in the break. So far, let me try and find Lucas's message. Lucas is frantically messaging everybody in between all this. There we go. Right, drum roll, please. £126! That's loads more than we had earlier, so that's brilliant. Imagine how much more it'll be by the end. Everyone have a lovely break. We'll see you afterwards. Take care. Bye.
You could be my only one, or you could be all the boys I know. All the games you made for me got me thinking if you're okay. You call me, I'm alone. Maybe I'm just lonely. You keep me up all morning, babe. 'Cause I've been having dreams of you. Back to something.
Lucas, lovely. Lucas.
There's some washing on the table in the dining room. There's probably one in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second hour of the 2020 mini comedy marathon. Welcome back to your screens. Your host for this afternoon, it's Jade Fearnley. Oh, are you there, Jade?
I am here, but it's saying to me, oh, I love this. This is what you don't bargain for. You can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, fuck off, Zoom. Back whether you like it or not. She's here, there's glitz, she sits, she's wearing what fits. Right, everybody, did you have a nice break? Good, yeah, I had a lovely time. I had a piss. I feel better for it, but I went and got a drink and left back in the bathroom. So I might actually off and go and grab that. Or Kane will be like, why is she pissed in this glass? It's an orange cordial. So I can confirm that in that short break that we just had, the total has gone up. We are now rocking a total in donations to Rape Crisis England and Wales, the sum of £171. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody who's donated. Keep watching, keep enjoying the show, because we are not done yet. First one out the gate just now in the second part of the mini comedy marathon is the wonderful Emma Crosland. Give her a round of applause. Woo!
Hello, everyone. This is the first one of these that I've done, so please bear with me. So we've had a lot to get used to, some big adjustments to make, and it's been really hard. We've had to make compromises and we've had to change our lives. And frankly, some of it's been really harrowing. I mean, I've had to give up daytime wanking. I started working from home before it was cool, I've been doing this for a while, so I'm a real pro at this. You know, I've been living a life of limited social contact and jogging bottoms as business attire for years. So this is no challenge. But what is a challenge is that now I've got to do it with a husband at home all day as well. Where lunch used to consist of just dealing with the judgmental stares of my cats while I polished off 3 packets of Monster Munch and had a wank, now I've got an actual person to deal with. And that sort of behaviour, even though I'm married to him, is largely frowned upon, especially at the dinner table. I've had to start doing things like eating fruit and having conversations like a real person would. I just don't like it. The worst bit, though, is that he's realised just how little I do all day. I can't pretend to have had a mad day at work by looking all moody and just frowning at the laptop when he comes home, because he now sees that I spend most of the day watching Netflix, scratching my arse and playing Animal Crossing. Having to spend a lot more time together than we ever have before, and that can be really trying. I don't think I've irritated him enough for divorce to be on the cards, but we've not made a baby either. And it's the little things that start to grate after a while. He finds my need to fill every silence with inane conversation quite annoying, especially when he's trying to be asleep. But the thing that grates on me most is his snoring, or what I have started calling the snorchestra. More than just a few grunts or even something consistent and rhythmic. It's a whole cacophony of weird, horrible, guttural noises all fucking night. Starts off with the breathing. Oh, obviously he's been breathing the whole time, I hope. But this is sleepy breathing, and it's loud. It's so very loud. And I realise at this point I've only got a few more minutes to get to sleep before it begins. And so I'm trying to switch off my brain, but it's at this point that all of the thoughts in the world happen at once and need my individual attention, whether it's about when I'm going to die or whether ducks have knees. The phase 2 begins. And to a properly sleepy person, this would be unnoticeable. But by now, I'm so awake that when I open my eyes, light actually shines out of them. At the top of each breath, there is a tiny, almost imperceptible, but definitely very there, click. And so it goes breathe, click, breathe, click. So my next technique is to huffily roll over in bed in as aggressive a way as possible without actually kicking him. Try and wake him up. It doesn't work, and so the next instrument kicks in. And this time it's snork. And now it's breathe, click, snork. Breathe, click, snork. Click, snork. Breathe, click, snork. Pause. Breathe, click, snore. And so I have to get my nice wife voice out, the kind one that I use when I want something. And it's, Ed, darling, you're snoring. And I'm trying so hard to sound like I'm not on the verge of smothering him. But it's a very close thing. Maybe you could roll over. I tap him gently while I'm saying this. And in fairness, he sleepily apologises and he rolls over and somehow the bastard falls immediately back to sleep. And so I'm now awake, now more awake than I thought it was ever possible to be. I'm so awake that the phone sitting next to me on my bedside table is spontaneously charging itself from the energy that I am now generating. I mean, of course, I snore too. I mean, I sound like a wounded animal sometimes. And he has recorded it and played it back to me on those occasions and to friends and family members when out and about. But I feel that that's different because when I snore, the main thing is that it doesn't affect me. Thank you. This has been crazy lovely, and please donate. It's been super fun to do. Thank you very much.
Hey!
Thank you very much. Well, it was fabulous, Emma. Thank you. I do feel very snore shamed. Wonderful. Let's crack straight on with an act that I love. Please give it up for Dawn Bailey.
Hey!
Hello. I can't see myself.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, I'm not there. Oh, start my video. Hang on. Start my video. There we go! How exciting is this? She said, go and sit in your bedroom, Dawn. Do a bit of sit down comedy. How are you? Are you all right?
Hey.
Yay. How are we doing post lockdown? Can you see this, Jade? Jade, I'm showing you. Look, not a root in sight, Cocker. Look at that. Domestos.
Nobody achieved that without seeing somebody, Dawn.
Oh, well, have you seen it? Look, Domestos Pine Fresh. Lovely. I pulled it through a little cat. I didn't actually, because yesterday everyone was freaking out about going to the pub. Oh, I'm going to the pub. I'm going to the pub. Nah, mate. Hairdressers is where you're going. And I didn't sleep Friday night. I didn't sleep Friday night. I was
like Christmas.
It was like, you know, the night before you go on holiday. And you think you're not flying till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but you might not wake up in time. That was me on Friday night. Honest to God. Got up for a wee about 5 times, going the hairdressers, got dead excited, got stuck in traffic on the way there because I forgot I've moved, and it's a 30-minute drive to the hairdressers because you never leave that woman, do you? You make that bond with that stylist. Anyway. So I got in my car, got stuck in traffic. It was one of them, Lucas, it was one of them journeys where every red light you hit them all. Oh, and you're like, oh no. And you think, I'm going to get past this one. I'm going to get, no. So it was horrendous. Anyway, I got there. Luckily for me, she was overrun. The hairdressing experience yesterday was something that I will remember for my life to come. So this what put me off a little bit because our local funeral director was stood in the shop doorway as I went in, and I thought, oh, and then he got his tape measure out as well. I thought, oh, is it really safe? Am I actually going to be all right? And I love it. The PPE was there. So they put this gun on your head when you go in like that, and that takes your temperature. So I passed that test. I was all right. Then it said, can you go and wait in your car? So I went and waited in my car. So that was fine. And they were overrunning, and then they send you a message, and in you go. And they've all got masks on, and everything is wonderful. And you think, right, I'm going in now. I'm going in. And I did look, to be fair, like a hareback gorilla, because I'm going to the competition once they open, Lucas, and that's not going to be a pretty sight. She's going to have to get the Flymo out, I think. Jade, I'm airy, love. I'm airy. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Anyway. So I went in, and for the first, you know, when they talk, they don't talk to you now. They don't even say, like, are you going on holiday this year? You know, who that woman's having an affair with across the road. Well, I'd see, don't do any of that now. All finished. But after a bit, you can see their masks are getting on the nerves, and I can see one a little younger styler, you know, Junior, that takes about 4 hours to do a little cut. Junior in corner, like this, all dressed in uniform. Tracy, this mass, it's cutting into my head, love, and it keeps, and you know, as they're talking, it keeps like steaming up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like Darth Vader is cutting your hair. Ooh, ooh. Anyway, then Jean wanted a wee. She wanted a wee, Jean, and she shouted, Tracy, you can't go to the toilet. You're not allowed to go to the toilet. But Jean was old and you wouldn't be. It'd have been a messy. You can see it, can't it? It'd been a mess on the floor. So Jean shouts, Tracy, can I have a wee, love? Can I have a wee? And she says, oh, Jean. Well, if you do, put the paper on the seat. And she says, I don't sit down. Oh, Jean, too much information, love. I don't need to. Now in my memory, I've got Jean hovering over the toilet with a mask on with the junior. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm like, Anyway, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. Have I got time to just tell you one more story, Lucas? Because I know I might overrun because I always
No, of course you have done.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did you like my hairdressing experience? Tune in next week for more post-lockdown. I might even go up. Anyway, and I love the queue at Waitrose. I love the queue at Waitrose because I see it as a comedian because it's an audience, isn't it? So you just know you. So I like do things like turn around if it's very long and go hi oh, and then I get them all singing. It's a very nice shopping experience for them all. Anyway, I'll just tell you a very quick story. Very quick story. I've moved to Cheshire. Everyone say ooh. Ooh. Moved to Poynton. Ooh. Ooh. Right. So the other week, because this diet's not been going that well. This is before lockdown, right? Well, it's not been going very well. I was good all week, and it got to the Saturday, and all I could think about was, should I do a bike ride today, and should I have some healthy food? But no, it was like, I'm going to have an apple pie from McDonald's when I drop my daughter off at dance. Right? And it overtook my life. So my hair overtook my life this week. Last week, before lockdown, it was a McDonald's apple pie. So I couldn't wait, and I built myself up for it all day. Like when you build something up that's massive, and it's never what you expect. So I picked her up and I'm like, come on, get out, because I want to go and get this apple pie. Get out. Anyway, she goes out, waves to it, off I go. Speed down the road, and I even put in Google nearest McDonald's, and it was like 5 minutes away. So I went and I got in the queue and I was dead excited. I'm going to get this apple pie. I'm having an apple pie, and I'm having a latte. And what came out of my mouth was, can I have a large Big Mac meal with a McFlurry and a latte? And then as we're just about to drive off, and she went, "Hey, want anything else?" I went, "Oh yeah, an apple pie." Right. And so we went through, and I thought, right, I'm going to find myself a lay-by, and I'm going to eat this apple pie. No, she's there. She's embarrassed. I'm going to eat this apple pie and this food. And when I'm on my own, having secret food, because when you're a fatty, you're a secret eater. So I'm going to put my own nice sunshine lay-by, like that. So I found a lay-by in Toft, which is near Knutsford. The sun was going down. The sheep were in the field. Are you getting the picture? Yeah. Birds without doing karaoke, ready for bed. Right. So I was there waiting, and I'm going, oh, this is gorgeous. And an Asda man pulled up in the front of me and stopped. And I was like, oh, I hope he's not going to get out because I can't eat then. And he did. And he got out and he went round the front of my car, looked at me straight in the eye, right? Took his pants down like a little boy. We're going to the toilet and had a massive whip right near my car. And he could see me watching him. And I was like, oh, that's disgusting. Windmilling and everything. So I thought, I was just about to take his reg down, but I was halfway through a chip. So, to be fair, the chip won. Anyway, I was like, I was disgusted. I was shocked Zoom people, shocked people of YouTube. I still can't get over it. I was like, oh, that's awful. My God, that's awful. An Asda van in Cheshire. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Is that my time up now?
That is done. Thank you so much.
Oh, I've loved that. Keep going, everybody. See you later. Bye.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you. Bye-bye. Fucking brilliant. Now, let's move straight on to our next fantastic acts. Julie Grady Thomas.
Hey, I'm coming. Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey.
Oh, I feel good. I feel good gigging from my kitchen. And you can see the Newcastle game on in the background. That's right. I'm an adopted Geordie. I know. I sound just like them. It's crazy. No, I'm actually in this country because I married a Geordie, and we've been together for. I'm trying to do like quick math. I'm really bad at math. Square root of 3. Okay, we've been together 10 years. And in that 10 years, me and my husband have never had a single fight, which is, I think it's pretty incredible. I don't know about you guys on Zoom or YouTube. I mean, 10 years, a whole decade of fucking bliss, right? Never had a fight, not one. And that actually, when I think about it, is because I cannot understand him. The Geordie accent, it's a tough accent. It's so tough, it's unintelligible, but I do love it there. I always represent whenever I can. Angel of the North. What else can I say? I'm kind of going for like in lockdown, you know, Dawn was just on and I loved her accent. It took me a really long time to figure out she was saying she was hairy. I thought she was an Aries for like ever. So I did not get the joke, but now I get it. It was great. But her lockdown look is much more put together than mine. I'm kind of like, you know, she's all that sort of meets she's all right. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm just kind of middling during the lockdown. I don't know. It's got me writing songs. I don't know if you guys are songwriters out there. I'm not a musical comedian, but this is the latest song that I've written. Feel free to clap along if you want to. I'll get the beat going for you. It's about lockdown, okay? Here we go. New conditioner might make me feel good. New conditioner might make me feel good. New conditioner might make me feel good. I'm depressed. Yeah, so lockdown's tough. It's kind of nice though, like if you're introverted, my life hasn't totally changed. I'm actually seeing more of my friends now and gigging more because I don't have to leave my house, which is fucking fantastic. I mean, look at all the pots I have. Would you leave this to go to a gig? Look at all those pots. You would never leave it. So I'm trying to live my best life. I don't know when I went on, so I'm not sure about my time. I'll tell you one like quick story. Just kind of like over some coffee, right? Like we're girlfriends. Okay. Girlfriends, guy friends, whatever. I tell this to everybody. Doesn't matter. So I went to an all-women's university called Randolph-Macon Women's College. Go Wildcats, right? Like totally go Wildcats. And so I went there and I had the best time of my entire life. And a lot of people think that it was because I went lesbian. And that is not true. That is not true. I am lesbian kryptonite. Okay, that is true. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I guess I'll just eat some dick. Okay, I think that's. And so I did come close though once to having a lesbian experience, and it was really steamy. It was super sensual. It was like everything you would want from that kind of encounter, right? Weird thing about it, it was with this guy who had really small hands. Yeah, his hands were so small. We'll call him lady fingers. And so, yeah, lady fingers. In the end, he dumped me, which is insane to me. I know you're like, look at all her pots. How could she get dumped? It's true. He dumped me. He said he didn't like having man hands all over his cock because look at that. They're pretty big. And I know I'm playing perspective with you, but they're still really big, right? They're huge. And, you know, I think it's weird that he dumped me for that because, honest to God, Scout's honor, whatever, Jesus, swear to you, he never complained when I stuck my biggest finger up his thumb. And that's that story. A little confessional time. Thanks so much for coming. This has been really lovely. Thank you, Jade and Lucas, for having me.
Hey!
Thank you
I might get some new conditioner now. But next, not before I've watched the brilliant Ash Preston.
Woo!
Hello? No, is it on? No.
Nah, it's not, pal.
Ah, there we go. Thank you. Hello.
Hey.
Right, I decided I was going to do not my own jokes because I want people to keep watching. So I'm going to do a piece of stand-up that I saw when I was really young that I absolutely loved by Rick Mail. And it's him doing poetry as Rick. Hi, My name's Rick, right? And I'm going to do some poetry for you. I don't know if any of you like poetry, but if you don't like poetry, you're in the wrong place. This poem, don't mind bothering with this is a stupid idea. The poem is called Theatre. It's an angry poem. Theatre, what are you, theatre? Whenever I'm near to the theatre, I ask myself this question. I don't know. Perhaps I should ask Vanessa Redgrave. But I don't know Vanessa Redgrave. And neither do you. Theatre. Theatre. Why are you theatre? Whenever I meet a friend at the theatre, I ask him this question with my eyes. He sighs and replies like all the other guys. I don't know. Ask Vanessa Redgrave. But I don't know Vanessa Redgrave. And neither do you. Theatre. Yeah, now we've got him. Theatre, what are you, theatre? When I carry my spearter to the theatre to do Hamlet, I ask this question. It says nothing, except, I don't know, ask Vanessa Redgrave. But I don't know Vanessa Redgrave, and neither do you. Theatre, or do you? Right, just got time for one more poem. This is an angry love poem that I've written, and it's called Vanessa. Do I love you? Vanessa, 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 Vanessa. Do you love me? Vanessa, you've made a messer of my life, Vanessa. Shut up. Where do I find the key? Whenever I see the tulips, I think of your tulips, your tulips, your tulips. Except that they are not yellow. But at least they are tulips, not 3. Vanessa, I shall go to my grave with a bleeding heart. But at least it'll be a red grave. Or will it? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anne.
Bye. Enjoy yourselves.
It's like he was back. Big male, that was Ash is alive. That, shall we? Another person. One of my favourites again. Diane Fitton, give her a round of applause.
You all right? Can you see me? Hi. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you, Diane.
Hi. I can't see myself here. Yes, I can. Well, it's Diane. It's nice to see you. You know, Singleton. As you all know, all of you know, I've been single for a very long time. You know that, don't you, Ash? Anyway, but I just thought, you know, with the lockdown, I mean, I know I've not had much success over these years, but I thought I might have a bit more luck since there was a lockdown because, as you know, there's a lockdown, so even if you fail, you can't go out, can you? Nobody's going anywhere. So I got onto, I thought I'd try these dating sites again. And this is true. I tried these dating sites and I thought maybe I'll have more luck. Why I thought that during the lockdown, I have no idea, but I did. So I got onto Plenty of Fish and I met a guy. Hey, get me. Anyway, so we're chatting away and we've actually got to the let's go on WhatsApp so we can chat privately. Yeah. And he said to me, you want to go to bed? I said, I do. It's 10:30. Look, I'll go now. Night, God bless. I'll see you in the morning. So anyway, that didn't go down too well. Never heard of him again. I know. Anyway, so yeah, I had a good time there. And then another time, there was another one when I got chatting to one guy and he said, do you want to Zoom? Right. Now we're doing lots of texting. I was doing most of the texting. And he said, do you want to Zoom? So we went on to Zoom and we had a right good chat. Well, I had a right good chat. I talked to him and talked to him and talked to him. And I thought we'd made a connection because he never said a word. I like men like that. Never say a bloody word. Anyway, so I thought we'd done really well. And then I realised he'd muted me for like 25 minutes. I hadn't noticed. So you couldn't exactly say I was chatting him up. You couldn't exactly say he was chatting me up. We sort of zoomed out on one another, hadn't we? Yeah. But anyway, not to be put off, because as you know, very little puts me off. You know that. Anyway, so there was another one. Oh, this one was really nice. I knew I was in luck with this one. And he actually said, look, he said, we can't get together. I thought, you might be in luck there. Thank God for that. So he said, no, he said, I'll tell you what, let's go onto like National Theatre streaming and let's watch this theatre, this play, because National Theatre are streaming plays at the moment, 7:00 on a Thursday. Let's do it. So I'm like, yeah, I've got a sort of date. It's the best I've had for about 3 years. Anyway, so I got all dressed up, and and my dad, he sort of sidles up to me and says, Diane, I'm a bit worried about you. I said, why? And he said, Diane, he said, you've got all dressed up and we're going to watch a play in our own living room. I said, I know, Dad. He said, things have changed since my day. I said, Dad, look about you. Everything has changed. Right. So anyway, we sat on the living room. We sat there watching the play, and I'm watching it on the television, and I'm there with my phone. And he said, I'm on FaceTime. He said, let me see more of you. I said, I'm holding the phone to my ear. He said, let's get nearer. I said, I've got it. I've phone to me here. How near do you want it to be? It was the only thing that's not overweight at the moment. So I said, listen, I said, I can't. I said, my mum and dad, I'm put on so much weight. My mum and dad are on this sofa next to me, it's not appropriate, is it? Honestly, if some of the fat that I am carrying, if I was as stubborn and resilient as some of the fat that I am carrying, I am trying to get rid of, I wouldn't have half the problems I've got in my life. I do not. But my mum and dad were on the sofa, so he was like, well, if that's the case, he said, I'm moving on. I'm not bothering about you. Oh. So anyway, that was the end of that. So, I moved on. I sat there, had to think about it, moved on. And to be fair, I moved from the living room, went into the kitchen and ate every single thing in sight. Food is so much more comforting, isn't it? Anyway, I'm finishing. Hey, have a great time, everybody.
Oh, thanks, Diane. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Woo. Thank you very much. Hey, you look fabulous there. That's another one with having a roots done. A lot of you. And reverse root shaming the lot of you. Let's see what Lottie's roots look like. Please welcome Lottie Blacklock.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is so good. So lockdown has been a bit of a nasty one, hasn't it? So literally been a case of the bins going out more than I have. Absolutely. I thought I'd talk a little bit about stuff I've done, a bit of what I've learned since lockdown started, and I've learned a lot. I think the biggest thing I've learned is that my gym playlist is not the place for Mr. Brightside. As an asthmatic, that is a health risk. Might as well have just gone for a pint yesterday at 6 a.m. I learned that His Dark Materials is not a prequel to 50 Shades of Grey. I've also acquired a lot of Aussie idiomatic expressions from Love Island this year. Don't judge me, it's been hard. The best one was, I'm not trying to piss in your pocket, which is disgusting. It's vile, but it means I'm not an arse kisser, which isn't much better. I have qualms with the expression to have fingers and many pies, if that is a euphemism, if I've ever heard one. Yeah. The best thing and most useful thing I've learned is from watching Dragon's Den, and it's the expression, "not to my knowledge." My mum will say, has the dishwasher been loaded? And I'll go, "Oh, not to my knowledge," when it is in fact indeed to my knowledge that I have not loaded the dishwasher. Before I got into comedy, I used to do languages, and I used to study really hard, all of them, massive nerd. And so recently I've been doing a bit more of that, and recently I was brushing up on a bit of my German, which is a totally normal thing to do. But everyone thinks it's such a harsh, horrible language, but they have these awesome words where they smash things together, and they have this really cute literal meaning. And my favourite one is Kartoffelschnee, which is mashed potato, and it literally translates as potato snow, which is adorable, I think. It's amazing. They call gloves hand shoes, slugs naked snails, there's loads. But the ones that I've learned recently have been words that really are used to insult men, which I found interesting. One of them is Shattenparker, which is not a word used to describe Liam Gallagher having an accident in his coat. It's to insult men, saying they're less manly if they park their car in the shade rather than in the light. But my favourite one was Sitzpinkler. Sitzpinkler is used to insult a man who is less manly because they'd rather pee sitting down than standing up. Now, if I was a man, I would never sit down to wee. But essentially, you've got a water pistol attached to your body. I would probably set up a little firing range. I imagine the novelty wears off around age, I don't know, 5. I'm not sure. But I think basically the point I'm making is I would be the furthest thing from a Sitzpinkler. What else have I done? I've been doing preteen me would be so happy with myself. I've been doing BuzzFeed quizzes. Honestly, tragically obsessed with finding out what bread I would be based on my personality. The one I was most interested by was can we guess your taste of men based on your taste of fruit? I was particularly interested by that given I'm gay, so I thought that would be a good one to try. But nowadays they're just so ridiculous. They have design your apartment and we'll tell you what cheese you are. Utterly ridiculous. Stupid. I'm Wensleydale, by the way. But yeah, I'm really concerned with bringing up this generation of people where we go into a job interview and they'll go, so tell us something interesting about yourself. And we'll sit there and go, well, I'm 97% pumpkin. The people who write these quizzes are clearly English teachers, the same English teachers that were telling us to overanalyze, why are the curtains blue? Because it signifies his sad, wavering temperament at that part of the novel. I've always found blue an interesting colour, and I've had time to reflect on this. Blue, when convenient, means sad. But from a young age, we are told and we are reinforced that blue is such a manly, strong, reliable colour. But then the Tories happened. Suddenly blue really is sad. And I think Boris Johnson is definitely a Sitzpinkler, I would say. That's all I've got, really. That's all I've been doing over lockdown. Thank you so much for having me. I've been Lottie Blacklock.
That was Lottie Wensleydale Blacklock. Thank you very much for taking part. Now next, we've got another great act. Please give it up, Emma Roberts.
Hello. Yes, so I am wearing blue glasses, not just for fun, it is for my disability. But seeing as I'm not a fan of the Tories, turn them off, Diana. So the problem with being a fat woman is that there's a lot of assumptions made about fat women. That we're nice, we're friendly, we're bubbly. Thankfully, I don't follow stereotypes. So the pubs have just reopened, right? I'm hoping that we don't see an increase in drink driving. I tried to hold a drink whilst driving, but it didn't work. I'm dyspraxic. I live with an anxiety disorder. So this is why I took up comedy. because sometimes I'm anxious. I like to get talking to people. And I thought, what better way to solve my anxiety than standing up in front of a bunch of strangers? When I'm really anxious, though, actually, I kind of go the other way and I talk too much, and sometimes people can get annoyed with me. So I see performing comedy as like my opportunity to talk as much as I want without being told to shut up. My therapist said that the reason why I talk so much is because I've got a fear of rejection, and I was like, nah, that can't be right. And until I got into treatment with her, I didn't realize how deep-seated those fears were. Until one day I tried to get my change from a car parking machine, and I could not claim it because it said reject coins. But I've been a bit like the other Emma during lockdown. My anxiety just keep me awake at night, and I find myself having random thoughts as well, like, do penguins have knees? Can penguins wink? Where are all the baby pigeons? Have any of you stayed up late and seen those all-night shopping TV channels? Kind of got a bit addicted to them during lockdown and got stuff delivered. And this, I just want to explain to you my psychological process that happened during these shopping channels. Like, I flicked it on, and in the first few seconds, I'm like, why would anybody need this crap? Who would use this? Who even invented this? 4 minutes later, I'm like 12th on the queue on the phone, like, damn you, the offer's about to expire, quick, I'm going to lose the 10% discount. I'm just buying all that shit. Have you noticed as well, like, just some things never change, even though it's been locked down? Like, for example, I still don't have my own cat, but I feel like I have one because of all the ones that come up on my Facebook newsfeed. And when you talk to people on the phone, you still think that they can see you, even when it's not on a Zoom call, just a normal phone, and you're like pointing and nodding, and they don't have a clue. And we had like bank holiday, like VE Day recently, and I thought, right, this is brilliant. We're locked down. It's a bank holiday. This is a guaranteed lie-in. Like, nobody's going to be doing anything. So I'm like, oh, yeah, brilliant. Fast asleep. Monday morning comes, 7 a.m. Some fucking twats up building a fence. Yeah. Banging and carrying on. I'm like, you've had all lockdown to do it. What's going on? And there has been times when I've struggled a bit. I'm sure you guys have during the lockdown. It's when you've not been able to have visitors and stuff. But I did get 2 unexpected visitors last week. I had a snail, that named Bob, that was stuck to my front window. and a ginger tomcat who came to sniff my weeds, and that's not a euphemism. So I've been isolating with my teen son, and one of the things was I was tidying his bedroom the other day, and I noticed there was a half-drunk bottle of vodka in it. Now I know it's normal for teens to experiment. I mean, he's older and it's fine. But, when you're being locked down and stuff, I just didn't want him, using alcohol as a coping mechanism. So I thought I'd better have a chat with him. So I just asked him calmly, so why have you got this bottle of vodka? And he just said to me, I need something to help me cope living with you. So I bought him another bottle. He's not one for compliments. He's on the autistic spectrum, so his social skills are not all that. And I bought a new perfume the other day, and stupidly I said to him, what do you think, son? He said, Mum, you smell like a squirrel's back end. I think kids, though, nowadays are living a very different childhood, to what I did when I was younger. You see, I'm old now, I'm past the 40, so I'm like old. Especially according to my son as well. And I didn't have access to all this social media and technology. I remember the most exciting thing that used to happen to me when I was a kid was if I got to sit upstairs on a double-decker bus. Or write booby backwards in the calculator in science class. Do you know what I mean? But it's all these apps and stuff nowadays, isn't it? Like, we're on one of them now, aren't we? And I've got these iPhones because, for old folk like me, they're dead easy to work, right? And I went to try and delete an app the other day, and it started shaking. I nearly had a panic attack, and I thought, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? It said, your data will be deleted. I thought, what?
And then I said, hang on a minute, Emma, you don't need to worry, Mark Zuckerberg's already robbed all your data. Have you ever seen that dating show, Naked Attraction? Imagine getting your melons and your flour out on national TV and then he goes, oh, sorry, I don't like your accent. I overheard a woman telling her mate the other day that she said to her, don't worry. She said, I know you haven't found anybody, Sandra, but there's plenty more fish in the sea. Thing is, but scientists have predicted by 2020, there'll be no more, 2050, sorry, there'll be no more fish in the sea. Poor Sandra. So I'm going to leave you just a couple of one-liners before I go. Okay. I like exercise, but there's such a thing as overtraining. My son told me that a man sliding into my DMs doesn't mean he's trying on my Doc Martens. My mate went on a date and she told me that the man was an erection specialist. It turns out his job's putting up scaffolding. They say love binds us together, but I find nylon harnesses work best. I've been writing a new series for the Mr. Men series. It's called Little Miss Needy and Mr. Narcissist. I was asked, am I adventurous in the kitchen? I said, no, I'm just cooking it. I've been Emma Roberts. Thank you very much for having me.
Tina going for Tina Fearnley.
Hey, good evening. Well, good afternoon. It's not evening, is it? It's afternoon. So, as Emma says, you know, people have been struggling a little bit with lockdown. People have been trying different things to get through, whether it's, you know, decluttering or making banana bread or lots of other things. But the one thing that's got me through lockdown, which I've been doing pretty much every day since the beginning up until recently, and that's watching the daily briefings. Now, obviously, they're informative, and you know, it's strangely comforting sort of listening to all the experts giving us the lowdown. But I think the main thing that the daily briefings have reiterated to me is how patronising the different politicians are to the general public. And so I thought I'd write a poem. I like Rick Mail and I love poetry. So I thought I'd do a poem as well. And my poem is simply entitled, No One Told Me They'd Cancel the Daily Briefings. So, now that the press conference has stopped, it's a pity. Now where am I going to get my daily dose of Chris Whitty? He might not be handsome and he certainly ain't pretty, but he knows his stuff about all the nitty gritty. Not one person told me it had come to an end. Then wham, bam, thank you, Professor Van Tam. It was over, my friend. I'm going to miss the questions from the public end with a daily retort as they condescend. What an excellent question there from Maureen from Southend. It's really important for you to know when you can get back dogging with your friend. One Tory minister has hit me like a comet because he sounds just like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. He's the only Tory minister that don't make me want to vomit. I have a bit of a crush now, sod it, I'll admit it, but Matt and Pretty's smug faces drove me round the bend and they defended their rule breakers to the bitter end. And even though most days my belief was suspended, I'm really, really sad now that the daily briefings have ended. And even though Cummins should have defo got the sack, don't worry, Boris and his expert pals will keep on popping back. Unless he goes on holiday to Greece with his dad Stanley. Obviously, that's an option for him. So there's one other thing as well that I know all of us, every single one of us, has had another thing that's helped us through lockdown. And that is heroes. Heroes. It's so lovely to see so many different heroes emerge from this situation. You know, whether it's nurses to bin men, delivery drivers to Joe Wicks. And obviously, We appreciate them all. Everything that they've done for us, we really appreciate it. However, there are some lesser known heroes that don't get much praise. They don't get much recognition. So today I'm going to change all that. And I'm going to leave you with one more poem. And the poem is simply entitled, Let's Give Clap to the Lesser Known Heroes. I'm sat here on my sofa from DFS. The kids have gone feral and the house, it's a mess. But there's one thing I know, and I must confess, that if Boris asked me to stay at home longer, my answer would be yes. Because I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I'm a mother flipping stay-at-home hero. If they asked me to return to work, my answer would be nah. Going back to work is for the petty bourgeois. And now Love Island's on, I shout hurrah as I sit here eating crisps in my slippers with no bra. Because I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I sit on my throne like Nero. Not all heroes wear capes and some wear no bras. Hope the neighbours don't see me in the garden from afar. I could spend all my days singing to Adele and ha-ha. My daily weight gain is like a chuffing chihuahua. Because I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I sit on my ass and do zero. The only exercise I get is taking out the bin. The day ain't complete without a double pink gin. It's important work working on your double chin and doing a Zoom quiz with your best friend Lynn, because I'm a hero. I'm a hero. Baking cakes with self-raising Vero. Watching all the films with De Niro, because I'm a mother flipping stay-at-home hero. And I'd just like to say a big thank you and a big well done to all the other brave stay-at-home heroes out there. Well done, everybody, and I will meet you in the pub later for a pint. Okay, thank you very much.
Hey. I feel like a hero now, and they don't all wear capes. Let's have one last act to close off this hour, then I'll give you a total update on how we're doing. In the meantime, donate. There's a little comment section below the YouTube video in the live chat. There's a link there. Get donating, but please give it up for Matt Grimshaw, your last act of this hour.
Oh, I'll be honest. I'm not going to do my jokes because I don't want people to switch off. So since he didn't, I'm just going to do Ash Preston's material. I'm joking. I barely remember my own jokes. I definitely don't remember any of Ash's. So I'm just going to start by talking a bit about myself. I'm autistic, or as it's apparently known now, socially distant. I should clarify, I'm not Emma's son. I feel like that is. I'm aware you might not have seen an autistic comedian before. I'm aware there's not that many autistic comedians. I'm surprised there aren't more autistic comedians, considering how much we fucking love routines. But I should say, by the way, I'm not going to be talking about the lockdown in my set because I have not written any new jokes in 7 months. So this is all going to be old stuff. So I'm going to say a bit more about myself. I work in a shop. For legal reasons, I can't tell you the name of the shop, but I can tell you 2 letters from its name. I can tell you M and S. Nobody ever guesses that it's Morrison's. It's quite weird because it's a shop in a hospital, so you hear things that you wouldn't hear in any normal shop. So I was on the tills not long ago, and this woman came up to the till, and I did the normal thing of saying, "Hi, are you all right?" And this woman went, "No, we've just switched my nan off." Now, what are you meant to say back to that? I don't think I responded correctly because I replied, "Would you like a bag?" Still charged the 10p. Ironically, it was a bag for life. So a bit more about myself. I'm single. I've been single for 23 years now. To clarify, I am 23. It's not like I'm 27 and I've had a brief thing when I was 4. But I'm not a fan of weddings. Anyone here married? No, because there's no one else in the room. Joy of online gigs. There's a couple of reasons why I'm not a fan of weddings. One of them is the cost. I had a look into it, and the average wedding in the UK costs £27,000. Now, to put that into perspective, that's 108,000 Freddos. And I feel like that perspective is important because I actually went on YouGov just before the show started, and I found a survey as to how much British people think a Freddo bar costs now, and 3% of people responded that they are £1 or more, which I find utterly incredible. But the other reason I'm not a fan of weddings is because they are just shit. Now, there's only two things British people like about weddings, and both are at the reception. One is obviously the drinking, and the other is doing the conga. And I'm convinced that the only reason British people enjoy doing the conga is because it's basically just queuing to music. Like, someone came up to say, do you want to dance? No, I fucking don't. If someone comes up to says, do you want to join a queue? I am there. I get a lot of spam phone calls. Obviously, being at home a lot more at the minute, I'm more aware of them. I got one the other day that said, we're ringing from the Road Traffic Collision Department. I said, why are you ringing from the Road Traffic Collision Department? They said, we're ringing about an accident we believe you're involved in. I said, I don't own a car. They said, is there anyone else in the house we can speak to? I said, no, they all died in a road traffic accident. At that point, they hung up, which felt like the wrong thing for them to do. But I thought that was quite funny, so I put a transcript of that on Facebook. And my mum's not on Facebook, but we've got a mutual friend in Birmingham who is. And she texted my mum asking if she's died in a road traffic accident. How the fuck would she say yes? I'm going to leave you in a minute. I've got one more joke I'm going to do, but before that, I just want to say that it's a really important cause that we are raising money for today. And if you can afford to do so, please do visit justgiving.com/minimarathon20. It's a really important cause that everyone has been affected by, either by being assaulted or abused themselves, or someone they know has. So please do donate and get that support that is really needed. And I'm going to finish by just telling a joke that I think it's really obvious was written pre-lockdown. Because I got the train to this gig tonight. I am in my bedroom at the moment. That is very much not true, but we'll have to go along with that and believe this to be real. I got the train to the gig tonight, and obviously we're in times of heightened security at the moment. When I was on the train, my bag was actually checked by the transport police. And I didn't know what to do or say in that situation because it never happened to me before. And I'll be honest, I never thought I'd been in a situation where I'd hear myself say the sentence, "What kind of shit terrorist buys a return ticket?" Thank you very much. I've been Mark Grimshaw. Keep watching and keep donating. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. What that guy said, keep donating, put as much as you can in. Obviously, every little helps when it comes to making donations for this sort of cause. It doesn't matter how much you can do, but if you can do anything, amazing, please do. I'll tell you what, if we can get up to 2:30 after the break, because we're currently on 196, guys. Pretty good. Up to 2:30, I promise you now, I will perform an improvised song with harmonica backing.
Woo! Yes.
I will do it. I'm not saying it's going to be good. So please get those donations in. Of course you want to see that. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'll probably do it again. But thank you so much for watching so far. Join us for the next half around about 3:10, Lucas.
Yeah, we'll have about a 10-minute break, yeah.
Perfect stuff. See you after that. Thank you everyone in this half. Thank you very much. Whoa.
Way through the night. There is a story about us two. It's written about me and you. Nothing can bring us down. go to sleep. You're lying next to me. 'Cause we are together now. 'Cause we are together now. Nothing can bring us down. 'Cause we are together now. Not even time to sacrifice now. We are forever young. 'Cause we are together now. Nothing can bring us down. 'Cause we are together now. 'Cause we are together now. Nothing can bring us down. 'Cause we are together now. Not even time to stop us now. 'Cause we are forever young. I might be tired, but still stay through. Picking up scars and I hold them close. They shot me down, but I got this fight. Shine a light on me when my heart goes dark. It's the never to fade now. I'm in the flames of a danger You call me, I'm alone. Baby, I'm just only you. Keep me up all morning, babe. 'Cause I've been having dreams of you. Back to something, baby. We could be more than nothing. Baby, we could have it all. I can't go low, 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 low. They don't gotta know, so maybe, maybe we could have it all. Baby, I'm falling down without you. Go into hiding, I'll never be flying now. Baby, I look just like the colors. Got me feeling alive, and my mind looks like butterflies over again. You could be my only one, or you could be all the boys I know. All the games you made for me got me thinking if you're okay. You call me, I'm alone. Baby, I'm just only you. Keep me up all morning, babe. 'Cause I've been having dreams of you. Back to something, baby. We could be more than nothing. Baby, we could have it all. I can't go low, 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 low. They don't gotta know, so maybe, maybe we could have it all. Baby, I'm falling down without you. Go into hiding, I'll never be flying now. Baby, I look just like the colors. Got me feeling alive, and my mind looks like butterflies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final hour of the 2020 mini marathon. Please give it up one more time for your host for this afternoon. It's Jade Fearnley.
Here she is. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 2020 mini comedy marathon. Thank you so much if you've already donated to this cause, because we've already reached quite a nice total, such a helpful total of £216. I've never ever noticed how dorky my clap is until I did this today. I clap like I've got two very frightened fish in my hand. What is that? But thank you very much if you have donated. Keep on supporting, keep on watching, because there's a lot of great comedy to come just yet. And one of the next ones is a one that's very dear to my heart. We have got, to kick us off in this half, one of the best improv troupes in the biz. Please give it up for Comedy Sports!
Hello! Hello! Oh, you've seen behind the curtain now. Had to put that on there to get a background.
Oh, good lord.
I know. So, hello! This is Comedy Sports. My name's Lucas, so I'm helping to run this today. But with me, I've been joined by the fantastic Kate McCabe and Laura Brooks-Smith.
Yay! I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you for running this, Lucas. I just made my donation. If you haven't, get on it.
Yes, very good. Yes, please donate if you haven't already. So we're going to play a couple of games, but we need suggestions from you guys on YouTube. So please give us some suggestions. What game are we going to play first?
Okay, Laura and I. Hi, Laura, by the way. Nice to meet you. Laura and I believe, are going to start with Dr. Know-It-All.
So we need some questions. Okay, so suggestion questions you want answered.
Okay, hello to Jade as well. Nice seeing you, Jade. You look great.
You look wonderful. It's a party where you are.
Actually, I left my fireworks up. These are dog and cat friendly fireworks.
Okay.
I've got a lamp. That's what I brought to the party.
Sure did. Hey, great idea.
Whatever you want. So this is the game of Dr. Know-It-All. So Kate and Laura will now become one, and they will become an expert. It's called Dr. Know-It-All, but Dr. Know-It-All can only speak one word at a time. So, for instance, how are you feeling today, Dr. Know-It-All?
Today,
I
am
very
slow.
Okay, there we go. And that's basically how it's going to work. So we've already got a question coming in from Bron-T1. And she asks, why does my breath smell so bad?
Pineapples. Often.
Very.
Flavorsome.
For.
Luau's.
Okay, there you go. That was the first answer. We can now see Laura again, which is fantastic. Oh, here's an interesting question.
My second head had fallen off.
The wonders of technology. So the next question is, what should I have for my tea?
Ground.
Potatoes.
Make.
Very.
Delicious.
Jackets.
So.
Maybe.
Try.
Some.
Ground.
Cinnamon.
On.
Your.
Jacket.
Potato.
There we go. A top tip for this afternoon. Okay, we've got another question from Martina. Hello, Martina. Do cats have a favourite music genre?
Yes.
Of course.
They.
Do.
It.
Is.
Hip.
Hop.
There we go. Now you know it's hip hop. Oh, and we've got another question. Someone's very interested to know, where did Laura go earlier?
Phantom.
People.
Often.
Come.
And.
Take.
Cutlery.
From.
Your.
Kitchen.
And.
I.
Don't.
Know.
Where.
It.
Goes.
I feel like that definitely answered your question. There we go. So that was the game. Know it all. Fantastic. So I believe you've got one more game for us. What do you fancy playing?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but Laura is a fantastic amateur newscaster, and so we'd like to play the game of auto cue. Are we able to play that?
Yes, of course we are. So I will need another suggestion. I've got computers at right angles. We need a suggestion for a fake news headline. Okay, so we need a fake news headline. Now, what will happen is Laura will be out on the field reporting, but she will be using an auto cue like they do in television. But Kate, yes.
Can you enable me to screen share, or not so much right now?
I can certainly, because I can... I will briefly make you the host.
Oh, you're going to regret this.
Oh.
All the power.
Okay.
Okay, the power is yours. So Kate will be operating the auto cue. So Laura will be doing her news report, but she will have to incorporate everything that Kate types, including any spelling errors. So, so we've got one so far, and I cannot be bothered to wait for more. So the headline will be Knitting Eats Grandma. Knitting Eats Grandma. So, over to you on the field.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's news. Thank you for tuning in. The Angie, that's what we call this newscast, in Liverpool. What of yarn has been spotted devouring grandmas and nanas and gams of various ages. This includes potentially your own mom. It's an American story, but in Liverpool. It's she's gamma, aged
and has a bunch of grandkids, Yarn has become carnivorous. And Issex likes, get off me and stop wearing me as jumpers, said the Yarn to justify this. I've had enough of being your clothes. We can't say that on this time. Lee, get out. There's a fly in these. There's a fly that aggravated the Yarn, that made it kick off. I don't think it's quite justifiable for killing people, though. We are gonna fight this fly, and me, it's bad words.
And we'll call it there. There we go. Fantastic. Just before we finish, I've got to read the other suggestions we got for news headline. We had cats have stolen the Eiffel Tower. We had the final bag of chips. We had man steals own car. And shoes leave home.
Oh, after the break, shoes leave home.
Well, thank you so much to Kate and Laura. We have been Comedy Sports.
Yay! Fantastic. Well, I have a bit more comedy just now because that's what we're here for. So after Comedy Sports now, we are looking at laughing at Ben Hodge. Give him a round of applause.
Hey, hello everyone. Hi, how's it going? I've just flicked a spider off my bed, so I'm a little bit paranoid, but you know what? We'll get through this together. My name's Ben, and a lot of people think that it's short for Benjamin. No, actually, it's short for Benton. I know, interesting, isn't it? Thank you. I chose it myself. And a lot of people do wonder, like, why I picked Benton and not a normal name. It's very simple, really. I can shorten it to Bent, and women know not to bother. Not that they would anyway. I always find it difficult to come out to an audience in gigs because I think, especially being who I am in society, there's a lot of negative things said about me. Some religious groups don't really like us. It's a little bit difficult, and being left-handed still comes with its struggles, and it's just really difficult. And a lot of people say that that's going to send me to hell and makes me a devil's minion. Like, being a homosexual and a transgender man isn't enough to get me there in the first place. Like, what? I think I don't really want to talk much about the pandemic because I think, like, I've been finding it really difficult. I don't know about everyone else. But lockdown's been quite a tough time for me. I was speaking to my mom and she said, what's one of the things you really miss? And I said, well, eating out. And she asked where I missed eating out the most. Apparently my boyfriend's ass wasn't the answer she was hoping for. But we powered through. I just want to spend a bit of time talking about being trans because I think it's quite a prevalent thing in society now. So I just want to talk about my transgender identity. I like puberty so much I've decided to go through it twice. This is currently 30 months in the making, so as you can tell, it's going shit. Coming out as trans was difficult enough, but before that I came out as bisexual and then a lesbian, and now I've come out as a gay man. So if you really think about it, I've completed LGBT. Someone has to. And, a lot of people say to me, they say, like, oh, well, Ben, you came out as a lesbian and then as a bisexual. Like, how did you come out as transgender? And I said this, I sat my mum and dad down and I said, Mum, Dad, I have to get something off my chest. It's my tits, I'm a boy. And I've recently had top surgery, or as I like to call it, the chop. Where they basically just, took my tits off, and I had that in December. But before that, I wore a binder, which basically, if you don't know, it compresses your chest. And so my chest pressed down, you can get a binder of different colours. You can get one in white, hide it under clothing. You can get one that's skin coloured. I got green. Because do you know what's really going to help my crippling dysphoria and a horrible self-esteem? Having the torso of Shrek. Just a nightmare. But yeah, dating was always a little bit difficult when it came to my trans identity. When I used to go on Grindr, I really used to think that I'd give people a nice little 2-for-1 experience. Men in the streets and what the fuck is that in the sheets? And a lot of people do wonder what trans people have down there. It's a question I get asked a lot. And I'm just going to settle that myth right now. It's basically this abyss of nothingness where all light just gets sucked in and like nothing ever leaves and nothing gets in. It's just this horrible black hole. Or as I call it, it's not all bad. I have a boyfriend. I'm quite lucky that I have a boyfriend. And a lot of great things come with it. And it's really nice because I find I could never do. I was, when I was a girl. So, like, for example, he calls me his little koala. And it's when I wrap my arms and legs around him and we get to cuddle. It's so sweet, little koala. And then I piss on him and give him chlamydia. And it was really interesting because when he first got with me, he was one of the only people who didn't ask for a dick pic. And when other people asked me for a dick pic, I'd say like, no, thank you. And they'd say, well, why won't you send a dick pic? And it's like, well, you see, I would send a dick pic. I just don't have the balls to do it. So I'm going to leave you with a little question. And this has been a really nice gig to do. It's been really nice to be a part of this. Please do donate if you can. And even if you can't, just be there for people and just make sure you support people. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with a little question because I don't feel like my identity is debated enough in society. So basically, I'm on testosterone, right? And I recently found out that my testosterone levels are high, which you think would be great because clearly this campus exudes masculinity. Like, look at me. But actually what happens is when your testosterone levels are high, it converts back into estrogen. So now my estrogen levels are high. So does that make me twice the man I am now or double the woman I was before? And if you said I thought 1 minute, it's a hate crime. It's 7 extra years for that shit. This has been really nice. You've been great. I've been a minority. I've been Ben Hodge. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. And do keep donating, as Ben said. It's a fantastic cause and we need your support. And so far, we are wrapping up a total of 261. More stylish than I do. Now next, we've got, let's say she's a mate, more of an acquaintance. The wonderful, the fantastic, and rather fetching with the new long hair, Kate McCain. Give her a round of applause.
It is long, isn't it? Look
So long!
It's going nuts. I haven't had a cut since before lockdown. Right. And I am here in Springfield's Shishi Lounge, which is my favorite cartoon-based lesbian bar. And welcome, everyone. It was nice to see a set from Ben, because we're going to keep the Pride theme rolling. I just thought, you know what? It's like we're not that far out of June right now. Let's keep talking about some LGBT issues. I specifically want to talk about a gay male sort of cultural exchange that I absolutely find fascinating. And that is the hanky code. If you're not familiar with the hanky code, let me explain it a little bit. It is essentially a way for gay men to communicate what their predilections or kinks might be by wearing a specific colored handkerchief, and even what your position in that kink might be. So kind of like the top of the kink or the bottom of the kink, like whether it's right or left butt cheek. It's basically ass-based semaphore. And I think it's a great system, except for one fact. And that is a lot of this type of communication gets done in very dimly lit and loud and hard to communicate in gay bars. Now, that would be okay if gay men weren't so very interesting in their sexual habits, because there's a lot of margin for error here in going on in the most popular kink list. Because imagine you are in a bar and you're out for a good night, as you would be, and you think, I am going to get specific. I am going to go shopping. They've taken the time to wear the handkerchiefs. I may as well choose something that I'm keen on. And you're like, oh, I'd like to meet a nice pilot tonight. That rows my boat. I'd like to have a nice time with a gentleman who's a pilot. And so you pick up what you think is an Air Force Blue. And it's not until you get home later where the lights are better when you can see clearly they're wearing blue teal. And that means you're in for a night of cock and ball torture. But it's too late. What are you going to do about it? Because you were like, hey, I was in for salted nuts, not assaulted nuts, but I'm So I think, in the one hand, it's a really great idea, but on the other hand, stop showing off. You don't have to be so freaking interesting in your kinks. Whatever just happened to bringing each other to orgasm. So what I'm going to show you next is I've developed a much simpler, streamlined, lesbian hanky code. The screen is going away because it's green screen. Oh my God, how amazing is that? It's like transparent. Okay, so what we're going to show you here is you've got yellow up top. That's just the primary colors here. Yellow is big spoon if it's worn on this side, and then little spoon if it's worn on that side. That's nice. Red, you're like, oh no, are we getting into like something that's a little grim? Is it like blood play or something? No, it's not. Red is has period. The other side is has tampon. It's not a sex thing at all. It's a community thing. It's like, hey sis, I'm looking out for you. If you want, I got a tampon in my cargo pants, and you can have it. And then green, we have has cat, wants cat. Very desirable. Blue has station wagon. You're like, what, are we going dogging? Not in my community. This is a person who needs to go to IKEA. They're going to work out the petrol share later. And then finally, you got white. You've got pitcher and catcher down there. Yes, okay, finally, we're going to have some actual sex. No, this is a recruitment for the local softball team. So anyway, this is for your own safety, gay men. Just streamline your hanky code. Sister's looking out for you. Thanks for running this, Lucas. I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Kate. Keep that applause going.
Woo!
Fucking Wiltshire David. Come on in. Just when you're ready. Yay.
Oh, we can see you, but we can't hear you carrying at the minute. But we can hear you. You're just a bit quiet.
I'm quiet. Okay. What if I shout?
Yeah, shout. And if everybody turns the volume up.
Yeah, turn it right up. Sorry, guys. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Hello, I'm Carrie. I was thinking about writing some new material for this, but it's actually really hard because everything's really sad at the moment. It's not very funny. And all of my old material is dated really badly since the plague began. You know, because it's about interacting with other people and being out there. So, I thought I'd show you some of my collections since we're in my bedroom. My first collection is my little baby collection. I'll say some of those. Here's one. Here is another one. Here's one of my least favourite ones because the leg's too long. A bit weird. This one. Let's have a look. This one, getting smaller now. This one has a full head of hair. One is
Oh, we've lost you completely at the minute, Kerrion. Do you want to try doing it without the headphones?
Just better.
100%. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, well, next collection is my Virgin Mary collection. I'm not religious. I'm just a big fan of high fantasy. But here we go. We have this one. Very nice. This one. Very nice. My favourite one, this one. It's velvet and a money box. This one. And this one. Yeah, this one's nice. And well, I don't really know why I like the Virgin Mary so much. It could be because, you know, she's a strong, independent woman that made everyone believe that she got pregnant by a big man in the sky. Or because I'm a lesbian and I like girls. Don't know. Yeah. Before the plague began, I really liked going to churches. I think they're really nice spaces to be, and like I kind of feel like a sort of connection to them. And recently, my one of my family members did an ancestry thing, and they looked back at our family tree, and it turns out I'm from like a really long line of peasants. So you know that makes sense why I like churches so much, because that tax is paid for them, isn't it? What other collections do I have? Let's have a look. My clown collection. Here we go. I know some people are scared of clowns, but I think it's really, really good to face your fears. So I'm going to show you some more. This one. Ooh. The twins.
Oh.
And this one is a pencil holder and a pencil sharpener. Playmobil. Very cute. I also have this Teletubby collection. So there's this one. These are backpacks. I don't have any Tinky Winky, even though she's the gay one, and I probably should support him. But you know, I always felt he was a bit older than the rest of them, which really freaked me out. And last collection is my tiny horse collection. This one. And this one. This one. I collect tiny horses because I'm scared of things that are bigger than me, which horses generally are. So I thought if I have these, thank you for letting me show you my things.
No, thank you very much.
Hey.
I hope that's not all in your actual set, because that's a hell of a lot to take to your gigs. Let's get our next act on just now. Next, we have the wonderful Henry Cherny. Give him a round of applause.
Hey.
Come on in, Henry.
Hello. Hello. Everyone all right?
Yeah.
Just want to say Lucas and Jade's done an amazing job. Well done. Well done. Absolutely brilliant. I have done a lot of stuff about lockdown, and I think the worst thing ever invention is Amazon one-click. My wife has found this finger just to do everything on one click. Essential oils and candles. She bought one the other day called Parks of London. It smells like dog shite. But talking to candles, I was reading in the paper the other day that Gwyneth Paltrow has brought out a new follow-up to her vagina candle. She has a vagina candle called Smells Like My Vagina. I don't know what sort of smell that is. And it's £100. And I went on Amazon and I can find a wanky candle for £10 and a sweaty minge candle for £8. How does she go about? How does she go about it in the first place? I mean, was this an Alan Sugar Apprentice show? Because they do go out and do perfumes, don't they? So was Gwyneth Paltrow in a corner, and every so often they just go and smell it and try and replicate it? Apparently, on the ingredients, it's geranium, citrus bergamot, and cedar absolutes with damask rose. Now, I can't verify that, and I don't know Chris Martin. But her new one is called Smells Like My Orgasm, which is at the lockdown price of £75. Before lockdown, I went to a dinner party, and when the few of us came into the house, and someone said, "Why? What's that smell?" And the host said, "Oh, it's my vagina." And what do you say after that? I mean, it did have a bit of a lull, but we carried on the meal. And at the end, she brought the coffee and the chocolates in, and the new aroma. And the same knobhead said, "What's that smell?" She went, "Oh, it's my orgasm." And I just said, "Have you just had one?" But apparently, there's going to be a new range for Father's Day next year. It smells like your prick. Now, I don't know about you. I am obsessed about my iPhone, and one of the worst things that can happen is that your iPhone will break during lockdown, and mine did. But I managed to get a new one sent to me. It is amazing. I have to say, it's amazing. Amazing security, because you can do it face recognition. So do I do it with this face or with a mask? Not sure which one to do first. The other thing about being in lockdown is trying to keep fit. I think that's quite important. And my wife's trying to get me fitter now, trying to get me fit. And she's reading an article in the paper, and it said, "How to spice up your sex life." And apparently in the article it said that if you walk 20 minutes a day, this can spice up your sex life. She told me this. And I said, but I don't know anybody who's 20 minutes away. But that didn't go down too well with her either. But texting, you know, as you get older, texting does seem to change. And I used to do stuff about texting, you know, LOL. Everyone knows what LOL is. I used to say now, for me being 60 odd, living on laxative. It's now living on lockdown. Everyone knows what FML is, and now it's put my lockdown. But other things, I have my own text, like ADS, at doctor's surgery, which of course you can't go now. So that is now CSD. Can't see a doctor. So how do you now get to see a doctor? You have to ring the receptionist, and you have to tell them what's wrong with you. Although usually she's not medically proficient, but she won't let you go any further. And I said, well, you know, this just being nosy. So she said to me, "What is wrong with you?" I have to tell the doctor. And I said, "Well, I have a rash." She said, "Well, okay, send a photo." How am I supposed to know that I wasn't supposed to send a dick pic? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Henry Cheney. Thank you, and please give to the charity. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey. Very much. Well, we've been doing this since 2 o'clock. We've raised a lot of money for a fantastic cause, but it's finally come the time to have our final act. No, only I'm shocked about that. Never mind. It's fucking flown, isn't it? And I'm sorry if is it Carrion? I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong earlier, Pet. It was like fucking quinoa all over again. Let's get our last act on for you, and then we'll wrap it up, and we'll get a total of just how well we've done in the event. But for now, please give a great big round of applause to Kelly Edgar. Thank you very much.
It's working. Hello, how's
Hey.
everybody?
Hey.
Good, thanks. Cool. Yeah, so I have a saying which I live by, which is you can't have your cake and eat it. I mean, I got fired from the cake shop, but so yeah, what's going on in my world? I live up north and I live next to a huge factory that sells only vegan stuff, and big vegan news at the minute. There's a national shortage of Sosmix. Sosmix is about as nice as it sounds. It's basically powdered sausage, right? And Adrian Childs, like, he thought he was doing the right thing, but what he did was he wrote this article in the Guardian about how great the Sosmix was. Sold out everywhere. People are like panic buying it, but like.
Callie?
I hope you are also one of the people who hoarded all the toilet paper, because you are going to need it. But yeah, it's like, it's hard to yeah, there's different levels of vegan as well. I don't want to be all like vegan. So there's different levels, and I'll talk you through them. So you got, like, right down at the bottom, you've got level 1, which is I'll stay vegan unless the food is free, which is a freegan. And then you've got level 2, which is I'm mainly vegan, but I also eat honey, which is a vegan. I'd say I'm about probably like a level 7. So I have got a vegan themed tattoo, but I have not stolen a piglet from an abattoir and brought it to live with me. Honest. But yeah, like, how do you let people know that you are vegan without being really preachy? There's got to be like a really subtle way of doing it. One thing I tried was, so I recently got back on Tinder. I was in a relationship for 10 years, and there wasn't internet dating last time I was around. I don't know what to do. I'm old. So I went on Tinder and I was like, I know what I'll do, right? Instead of writing a bio, I love vegetables, especially aubergines. So I'll just put like a row of them, man, and, you know, see what I get. And yeah, that isn't actually a joke. That really happened. And bad. It was a bad week. But yeah, I've got a few like chat up lines that I thought, you know, I might give them a go if I meet anybody. So I'm trying that on you. All right, chat up line number 1. Hello, are you Mrs. Brown's boys? Because you're shit, but you make a lot of money, and my mum will probably like you. Or I've got this one. This is good. Yeah, so hey, are you a Stephanosterius albular starfish? And if you are, why am I wasting my time? Because everybody knows you produce asexually, so get out of my face. Yeah, so what else have I got? It's really hard to write jokes in lockdown because, you know, it's like you're taught to be happy, isn't it? You know, I did this one. My dog's got no nose. How do you feel? Terrible. Maybe not. Yeah, I also Hermes, I don't know if you've seen this, but like to make people feel safer, Hermes, when they're about to deliver your parcel, they now send you an email with like a little picture and a bio of the driver. And I don't really think it makes me feel any safer, because it's like you get a little email and it says, hello, my name's Terry. I'm a driver and a murderer. My hobbies include wearing your face like a mask and dancing in my pants. And I know where you live, and I'll be there in 20 minutes. I thought I'd like to end on a poem, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, right, here we go. So my poem. I have a little teddy bear. His name is Tiny Tim. I took him to the bathroom to see if he could swim. He drank a bowl of water and ate a bowl of soap, and now he's in the hospital, and I'm not allowed to see him because they're called social services. That's me.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Thank you for closing our wonderful 2020 mini marathon. Oh, I really loved this. Thank you very much for having me, Lucas. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
It's been really, really nice. And I just want to finally, obviously, just close up by giving us one of the most important things, which is the figure of how we've totaled. So currently, and does this still stay the same? Just not, yeah, because you've just sent me the message. Okay, so this is our most up-to-date total. So up to now, we have raised for Rape Crisis England and Wales, and you can still donate after this, I'm sure you can, but up to now, it's fantastic. We have raised £321.
Yay!
Thank you everyone that took part, and I'm not the sort of person to make a promise and then we can go back on it. And I did say if we got past 230, I would provide you, whether you want it or not, with a song. And this song is being played on this harmonica twice in my life. So I'm hoping I'm either an absolute fucking natural and I'm like, fucking hell, Beethoven, stay dead. Or it's going to be really fucking awful. But you know what? It's the end. So it's been the marathon. And we've all had a great time. And no more than me has found it sublime. And when all's said and done, the total's 321. And we've all had such a great, but please still donate.
Hey.
Thank you very much to the act. And to Lucas Kirkby. And of course, it's been hosted by me. Yay. I told you it'd be what it was. Thank you very much for watching. We've had a wonderful afternoon. The acts have been incredible, and the cause has been fantastic. Thank you, everybody. One last big round of applause.
Well done. Well done.
And give it up for your host. It was Jade Fearnley.
Yay.
Fantastic. So, as always, this video will still be available to watch, so you can share the video and please share the donation link as well. The donation link will still be live for the next couple of weeks. We're on a target altogether of £500, so we're already at 64% of that target. So please share, please donate if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and we'll just have a bit of music while you all loiter unnecessarily in the YouTube chat. Here we go.